Yo, 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 talking shit, getting clicks. We live. Wednesdays. There's no we without you. What's good? I am Mo 3 times. Tonight we're going to keep it simple for you guys. I mean, turn me up, hit that like, hit the share, and the subscribe, and get into the chat because this one needs your voice. I mean, we're looking at who gets called a threat, who actually does the damage, and who quietly profits while everybody argues about it. I mean, no panic, no propaganda, just receipts, power, and questions that matter. Stick around, call in, let's get into it. Let us get into it. What's good, Ramen? What's new, cousin? Glad to see you. I missed you last week. I missed all you guys last week. I'm gonna take my time getting into it. How's the sound? Let me know how the sound is because I can't hear my own mic right now. I had ChatGPT help me get my setup back again. And let me tell you what, it was a couple of hours of funk up in here, I'm telling you. Yep. So, let me tell you guys what's happening with me. First and foremost, I did not make my fantasy football playoffs, even though I have like the first or second most scored points amongst the teams in my league. I missed out by one game, which is crazy. And then last week, I believe I would have beat everybody once they went to play. I'm in the playoffs, but I'm in like the loser bracket, and I'm kicking ass in the loser bracket. I wish I could magically hip-hop back into the winner's bracket, but that it can't happen because I lost fantasy football because Jalen Hurts decided to throw a dub the week before last. Luckily, my Eagles are back, and we're doing that thing. Flashbacks in the house. Yo, if we can get a couple more in there, you know I'm going to hit this.
Many people know them as the Jump Out Boys in their city.
Yep. But that's what happened. So, yeah. Google's kind of slow today. I just did a speed test. I'm at a gig of download right now, and I'm having problems with Instagram and Facebook and Google, and that's where the most of my stuff comes from. Hey, Wendy. Good evening to you. Yep. Oh, Love's not in the house tonight. She's in bed, knocked out. She's had a long day. It's been a long week. Yeah, but we're here on Wednesday. So if no one can hear me, or if anybody can hear me well, let me know, because I can't hear myself. Once again, I don't want to sound too poppy or pitchy for you guys, but when I first came into this, I just wanted to talk that shit, get those clicks, as you guys can see. Like, that's the original idea for this. But as life situations came about, we were in the middle of one of the most contentious presidential campaigns in recent history, and there was so much misinformation and so much lies, blatant ass lies going on, that I felt that it was my duty as somebody that has a common sense and an interest, and always had an interest in politics, to get on this platform, turn my mic up, and then connect you guys with facts and video evidence and legal evidence and case numbers and laws and files and all the good research done just to let you know that this person is lying to you. I spent a lot of time doing that, a lot of energy doing that, and I am proud of the work that I'm doing. Main lines in the building. We're close. many people know him as. All right, so I did all this, and I'm still going to continue to keep that good fight going. But also, we have life, and there's so many other things that we have to talk about. But still, it always comes back down to the politics. And hey, you know, sometimes it's not your choice. Sometimes you're just called to do it. But as I go back through, as we talk about like recent events, and I sit here and me and Love have like a lot of conversations on our house about this. Anytime we have a conversation, I can reference back that, yo, I remember saying that in the show. I said this in the show. Oh, I predicted this in the show. And it's not really to pat myself on my back, even though, I mean, if the bullet fits, shoot it. But it's just to let you guys know that on my channel, on this page, what we've been doing, what we have been collecting. And I say we because, damn it, it's we live. There's no we without you. I would be remiss if I didn't remind you of how far we have come. Let me show you. This is my YouTube page. This is a YouTube page that a lot of you guys, that everybody in the chat would probably go to get to the live. You can see a little live in there. It says live because we're live and this is the show. But we're going to go through these playlists here, and some of you guys can't see all these playlists that I have because they're hidden from you. But when we get down into the nitty gritty of this committee, we go down to the we episodes live because we're live and this is the show. But we're going to go through these. Look at that. That's here. Me. And I think I sound pretty damn good right now. All right. So I say all of this to say all of that I will go back and I will just show you that. Where is it? I don't want to go to the actual live episode. But nevertheless, that's where we are. But when you look here, when you scroll down, you can see this nice little body of work that we got moving. When we scroll down, we can see that we've put together a whole slew. We have a library of information, facts, jokes, criticisms, apologies, declarations, predictions. We have a whole slew of that all wrapped up in here. So, if you have the means, if you have the time, like, go through those and check some of them out. I know I do long, lengthy shows, but bro, there is so much gold in there. Every now and then I go back and I find something. But yes, we have come a long way, and I would not be able to do that without the good support of you guys out there. Let the children sing. I would not be able to do this without you guys out there pushing me, giving me advice, giving me little criticisms, giving me great feedback. And I really like to say from the bottom of my heart, as we approach the end of this year, 2025, going into 2026, that I am appreciative, grateful, and thankful for each and every one of you. No teleprompter. From the heart. From the heart. From the heart. Let's go. Got the chat up. Oh, look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, Kato's back. Haven't seen you in a while. What's good, sis? Alright, so there's so much going on. We missed last week. There was a lot going on last week. But what I wanted to do is start drilling down and getting into like a little bit more of the I don't know, more conversational tone with this. This shouldn't actually have to be news, but I like feedback from you guys to see what you're thinking about. And as always, in order to get that feedback, we have the wonderful chat that you guys are oh, there we go. I can be a weatherman now. This chat right here that I'm appreciative for you guys to join in. But we also have a call-in line, 313-825-5557. And you can call in, you can present topics, you can comment on topics, you can give me feedback, criticism, and go off right away. We don't get much callers right now because we are still in the infancy of this process here, even though we're older than infants. But the cool thing is that, yeah, you get to call in and you're going to get through. You're going to get through right now. Catch me right now while you can still get through on these call lines, because it's going to get serious. And you're going to be like, oh, he never picked up the phone for me. He never answered my phone. Because that ish will be changing. All right. So, let me know, chat. What are we watching this week? Let's do a little fellowship. Let's fellowship. What are we watching this week? What are we watching? I've been watching Welcome to Derry. Right? It's the Stephen King series that revolves around it. They have a whole, like, a nice little spin-off that involves the killer clown out there, the alien killer clown, and it's pretty damn good. It has a nice diverse cast and backgrounds. It's set back to, I would say, the 50s. It's set back in the 50s. So if you guys been checking it out, let me know. Let me know what you. But I love it. I love Dick Halloran. If you guys remember the movie The Shining, everything connects. Everything connects. Speaking of Stephen King stuff connecting, did you guys might have known? I've known this because I know stuff like that. But Stephen King wrote the book for The Running Man. It was a pretty popular movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger originally. It came out in, I believe, like 1987. Yep, it did. Came out in 1987, and it featured Arnold Schwarzenegger. Basically, he's a contestant on a very violent game show, and he's basically running from the man, getting in type of all hijinks and everything like that. Just like people, what we've been doing in Hollywood lately is everything has been a remake, and I got to watch The Running Man today, flashback. It's on Amazon. Check it out. It's in my collection. But yeah, I got to watch this one today. What's the actor's name in it? He was in Glenn Powell. Glenn Powell was actually, he has a little small role in Batman The Dark Knight Rises. He's down in the stock exchange, and Bane like kind of slams his head on the desk. But yeah, the new Running Man, it was pretty good. Like earlier, in a previous show, like months ago, I was looking at the trailer and I was like, man, I don't know about this, but it was a pretty fun movie, and it kept up with the basically the original messages. It kind of updated it for today, and everything got updated for today, but they kind of took the concept of the Running Man and kind of ran away with it. I had one watching. I have to watch it again. I was in the studio. There's a lot of nice heat involved, and a little bit of the THC vape, and I took a good nap. Not saying the movie was trash, because the movie was good. All the parts that I saw were really dope, but I need to always go back and give it a second look. Just saying. That's what I do. That's how I do it. I watch movies like 10 times in a row. But yeah, and then Pops hit me up and he was like, yo, Anaconda is out, and he had me excited thinking I was going to go on Amazon and the Anaconda movie, the new Anaconda movie would be on Amazon, but it was no. That's going to be in the theaters. It comes out Christmas Day, so you can technically watch it on Christmas Eve. Excuse me, and that is how we're going to get into it. Let me show you the movie. You can type it up, bring it up. Here's the, I'm not going to do an official trailer, but here it is. As you can see, Jack Black is in it. And they turned the old horror with Jennifer Lopez into a comedy horror. So, and excuse the way I say horror. It's horror. It sounds like I'm just saying horror. It's a comedy horror movie. And yeah, that's something we want to check out. So once we go there, probably in the next week, actually a week from today. Yo, we are like a week away from Christmas, y'all. And this is the point where I would usually be like, yo, like, I hope you guys are ready for Christmas, but I don't care about that. Commercial holidays, I think a lot of us are fed up with it. hopefully that Black Friday boycott will spill over into Christmas. At least a lot of us have to pull back. I can't say that I am totally boycotting Christmas because I do have a $50 gift exchange to contribute to, as well as a Pollyanna. That's right, Wendy. I'll do the Pollyanna, the white elephant gift. But really, this year, Christmas for me, I am going to spend I'm going to spend under $200, and probably $100 of that is going to be liquor. A bottle of something dark, and to hang out with the guys and just relax, celebrate, and bring in the new year. But yep, next Thursday is we can't say it's Jesus's birthday because we all know that he was born in the springtime. This is what kind of holiday is it? Like a pagan holiday or whatever. But we did that for Thanksgiving, but we also know it is whatever we make it out to be. As people, we have that power to make it really what it is, and that's what I feel about that. So yeah, 61st Street on Netflix. Ramin, what is that about? You gotta call in and tell us what that's about. And it's amazing that you just said that it's on Netflix, because guess what the man just did a couple days ago? I got rid of my Netflix account, guys. I had the $25 account with no ads, and I didn't realize it. Kiki's like, I'm trying to watch something. She was trying to watch Stranger Things, I believe. And she was like, we don't have Netflix. I was like, she's like, you got Netflix. And I remember Canelo fought Bud, and I bought Netflix just to watch that, and I never got rid of it. But they did have some banger movies on there. I watched a couple before the expiration, but $25 a month is ridiculous. I had to get rid of it. Not only that, I got Hulu, HBO Max, Disney Plus, Prime Video, some other shit, and it's a lot. I suggest you guys go check. If you subscribe for those things, this is how they get you. You want to watch an event, they got a free 7-day trial. You got to put that credit card in. They're going to charge you that little $1. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure your card's legit. And then next thing you know, 4, 5, 6 months later, you're done watching what you have to watch. You are still paying for that service. Don't do it. There's an app called Rocket Money. They advertise it on television. It's for people like me who be having gym memberships and 2-3 different Netflix accounts, and I'm paying, and I don't realize all this money is going to this thing. But even Rocket Money is not the best way to go. You need to just go through your email and see what you signed up for, and then go into that and unsign for it. Rocket Money will automatically sign out from some stuff, but really, a lot of times you got to still go in and deactivate accounts and stuff like that. And in doing this show, I found that I've done a lot of, hey, let me get this little $4.99 for the next 10 months of New York Times or the Washington Post or fucking National Geographic. Believe me, I had to go through there and get rid of all of those little monthly expenses that you'd be like, oh man, little $5 come on my account, $8 come on my account. But when it adds up, that shit adds up to things. You know what I mean? So, me personally, that's what I had to watch out for. I can't be acting like this in this Trump economy. Jake Paul fight this Friday. I'm gonna watch highlights of it. I don't respect Jake Paul at all for his fighting ability. It's I'm just playing. I do like that he. I would say before, I've seen him show up at some the recent little face-offs or whatever they call them, like the weigh-ins and stuff, and he hasn't been looking in tip-top shape. It doesn't look like he's been a dog in that gym. But a lot of people do say that, he takes it seriously and he works out. So even up until this fight before, I was like, you know what I'm saying, I wish he would fight real boxers and actually go through the normal process instead of just having these high-profile get rich quick schemes. But it is what it is. We'll definitely check out, but I would never pay pay-per-view for Jake Paul at all. That's just me. If y'all enjoy it, that's y'all. I appreciate it. Differences of opinions are differences of opinions. That's it. Next Thursday, Christmas. Jake Paul. Yep, I told you. I knew Instagram is acting a fool today. Let me go look into some stuff because I like to save. It's probably time to. I cleaned this computer. I cleaned up wires today. I redid my whole setup and cleaned up my setup all because I had to sweep dust from the computer. And in doing so, I messed up all my audio and I had to refix everything. So hopefully everything is better than ever because it took me a couple hours to get everything back up and running. But we are here today. Check my credentials here if you guys want to reach out, do some compilations, whatever they call it. Yo, this is a conversation that I thought was worthy of having. You know what? Real quick, before I do all this, guys. I'm acting like a fool right now. Before I go into all of this, because we're going to talk about some, you know, some ish that's been bothering me lately. We're going to talk about some things. I got some questions for you guys that I'm going to break down midway. And then I won't keep you forever here. We'll get out of here. But just, you know, a nice little conversation piece. That's what I'm thinking about having right now. Let me see if this chat works still. Bam, that still shows up. That's awesome. You're watching Castle Rock by Stephen King? Is that good? What channel was that on, Wendy? What channel? But check out Welcome to Derry. Oh, the reason why I bought The Running Man is because Running Man was also written by Stephen King, and there's a part in the movie where he actually goes to Derry. So there's like a little Easter egg in there that connects the Running Man to the greater overall Stephen King writing empire, if you will. If you wheels. Wow, the show, everything looks pretty good over here. I kind of like it. All right, hopefully this works, because, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. Instagram has been quite foolish today. Quite foolish. So I might have to pull this up on YouTube, but I like Instagram because they give you like nice little small little baby clips. But you know what? I think this might be it. Let's see if we can get this going over here. I see it's a lot of buffering going. There's a lot of buffering going on tonight, guys. That's all I gotta say. All right. So this man right here that we're talking about is a senior FBI officer, and he is in front of Congress. Excuse me. He's in front of Congress, and basically he is talking about like the biggest threats to the United States of America. You guys saw my notes right there. Bring my notes over here. He's talking about like the greatest threat. The greatest terroristic threats that are going on in the United States of America, and who is the actual biggest threat to Americans. And this video does not want to play. This video does not want to play. Let's get it going. All right, so we're back here. Oh, look, it's playing now. All right, I'm on F11. We're gonna do a little sweep back here, and let's check it out.
Antifa, that's our primary concern right now.
All right, that's what President Trump did. What did the FBI say?
All right, this right here is representative, yes, from a Democrat from Mississippi. Benny Thompson. He's the ranking member of the committee that this man is testifying in, and he's asking some damn good questions. Check it out.
We share the same view. When you look at the data right now, you look at the domestic terrorist threat that we're facing. Right now, what I see from my position is that's the most immediate violent threat that we're facing on the domestic side.
So where is Antifa headquartered?
What we're doing right now with the organization.
Where in the United States
Where
does Antifa exist?
Yeah.
If it's a terrorist organization and you've identified it as number one.
We are building out the infrastructure right now.
So what does that mean? We trying to get the information. You say Antifa is a terrorist organization. Tell us as a committee, how did you come to that?
And that the same, no different than Al Qaeda and ISIS.
No, I don't want you. I'll ask one question, sir. I just want you to tell us. If you said Antifa is the number one domestic terrorist organization operating in the United States, I just need to know where they are, how many people. I don't want a name. I don't want anything like that. Just how many people have you identified with the FBI that Antifa is made of?
Well, the investigations are active.
Sir, you wouldn't come to this committee and say something you can't prove. I know. I know you wouldn't do that.
The hell he wouldn't.
But you did.
The domestic terrorist organization.
Oh, wow. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, do you see what Benny Thompson just did right there? Do you see what Benny Thompson just did? Hey, Sheriff Ford. Yep, Michael Glasheen. On Instagram, they actually have him as the Department of Homeland Security official, but he's not. He is FBI official. And yeah, that was his answer. I've seen something like this before. Let's put on our thinking caps. Right there. Because that's crazy. I gotta justify that, but give me a second. Let's get a drum riff going. We live call-in show. Our call-in line is 313-825-5557. We live, talking shit, getting clicks as a channel. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. All right, let's get back to it. Listen, welcome back, y'all. Y'all, welcome back. Yeah, that's what I was. Pull up, turn me up right now. Put on your critical thinking caps for a second. Just for a second. Put on your critical thinking caps, because apparently what this guy is saying oh my goodness. What this guy is saying, what he is saying is a loose collection of kids and black hoodies with Twitter accounts are the biggest threat to the United States of America. Like, I should name this segment. This should be called, like, from COINTELPRO to Antifa, because this is the same script. It's just a different cast. So just recently, Michael Glasheen, he went to Capitol Hill, and this is where I got my deja vu moment. So he's an FBI national security official, and he goes in front of the House Homeland Security Committee, and when asked who's the top domestic threat to Homeland, he says Antifa. I just showed you a video. So you should know. He said Antifa. He didn't say white supremacists. He didn't say some militia dudes with a Punisher skull and decal or something and enough ammo to start a small war. No, he said Antifa. And when the ranking member, Benny Thompson, politely asked, cool. Hold on. There's Benny Johnson. When Benny Johnson is like, cool, so which Antifa group? Like, where? Where are they? How many are they? Who they be? When he's like, who they be? Glasheen basically answers, it's like, it's vibes. They're investing. The FBI right now is getting paid to investigate fucking vibes. I don't like to do the it's giving thing, but it's giving. I didn't do the reading, but I'm still going to try to present this information from Michael Glasheen. By the way, this is a top FBI official who is getting stuck up like this in Congress. You know what I'm happy he didn't do? He didn't do the whole Kash Patel or Kristi Noem thing, or where he just starts dissing and starts trolling the people that's asking him questions. Right? So, meanwhile, the actual data from the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, the ODNI, which is, I think, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, all of those people, you know what they've been saying? They've been saying this for years. They say that the most persistent and lethal domestic threat is racially motivated violent extremists, specifically white supremacists and anti-government militias. I don't know. Let the children say. Our top law enforcement intelligence agencies are saying this is our greatest threat. White supremacists, anti-government militias. But now, magically, the folks testifying can't quite seem to remember their own footnotes. I was going to use another F word, but why? I'm going to save that for later. And on top of that, the Justice Department quietly yanked a study off of its own website. And then the study was that it was a study that documented how the far-right extremists have committed hundreds of ideological motivated killings since 1990. And then poof, it disappears. Right after a high-profile killing of a right-wing commentator in Utah, I believe. Excuse me. The administration pulled these facts off of its website, but we know because if we talk about like tariffs and jobs, we know that job numbers were messed up, and then the lady that reported the job numbers correctly got fired, and then they threw somebody in and his job numbers were off. They had to keep fixing these job numbers, showing that the job numbers that the GOP was supposedly creating, the Trump administration was supposedly creating, was going lower and lower each month, to the point that I don't believe we've had a jobs report since the end of October. So right, in that same spirit, they take this important, vital information off of the website right after a high-profile unaliving, if we're going to use the YouTube terminology, unaliving of a right-wing commentator known as Charlie Kirk. But hey, don't worry, they kept the part about Antifa. That's all that matters. Now, if this all feels familiar to you as it does to me, it's because we have seen, a lot of us have seen this movie before. And we will have to hop into our DeLorean, power up the flux capacitor, put our foot on the gas, and get that bitch up to 88 miles per hour to roll it back to the 60s, right? Because then we'll find that the FBI runs COINTELPRO, or COINTELPRO, if you want to have, however you want to say it, but I will define it as a secret counterintelligence program. And that program was designed to fucking disrupt, to infiltrate, and to destroy organizations that they label as subversive. And those groups that were labeled as subversive conveniently included the Black Panther Party, civil rights groups, anti-war activists, Puerto Rican nationalists. Everybody got thrown in the threat bucket. Everybody. And this was back in the time of J. Edgar Hoover. At this time, J. Edgar Hoover, I don't know if we should pull up pictures of J. Edgar Hoover. I think you guys may all know what he looks like, but if not, I got you. I mean, he looks like he had some color to him, guys. He looks like he was damn near kind of passing. But he looks like he has a little bit of soul in him, even though his policies were soulless. But anyway, this man called the Panthers the greatest threat to the internal security of the country. Then he sent infiltrators. He sent fake letters. He coordinated raids that got people like Fred Hampton and Mark Clark killed in Chicago. Rest in peace, Fred Hampton and Mark Clark. December 4th just passed. Now at the same time, and listen to me on this one. Give me the close-up. Give me the close-up. Because listen to me. At the same exact time this shit was happening, Hoover was publicly acting like the mafia didn't even exist. You know what I mean? The Black Panthers create black breakfast programs, and that equals danger, but organized crime empires equal alleged. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't even think they exist. That's what that equaled. So if we fast forward back to now, we hop back in the DeLorean and we go back to the future, then we've had multiple DHS and FBI threat assessments saying that white supremacists are the most persistent and lethal threat in this home country. And Congress had reports confirming the same thing. Congress had these reports. So check this out. Now the FBI, now we get the FBI claiming that Antifa is the top domestic threat. But he can't name groups, membership, or scope. This is worse than the Black Panthers. Yo, somebody did a research study, you know, right? And then that research study disappeared right when the narrative turns into the radical left is out of control. Remember that? Charlie Kirk died and the radical left was out of control, and at the same time they were saying that, they were removing information that showed the opposite. And then, meanwhile, we have an administration that is rewriting federal language on domestic terrorism to aim at left causes and even gender ideologies. And it's quietly removing databases used to track far right-wing groups. So when you tell me we just don't have the data, you don't have the data, or you don't like what the data says, right? Yup. Martin Luther King said was the most dangerous man in America, over Malcolm X. Think about how absurd this is. One side, you got men with plate carriers from Amazon, AR-15s they name like pets, and group chats mapping out power grids. Remember, I did a show called White Power Outage. Check that out. And on the other side, we got a loose ideology, that no membership cards, and people showing up with umbrellas and bicycle helmets, but somehow the Umbrella Club is the greatest threat. But the dudes who literally tried to overthrow the government January 6th, what? They're misguided patriots who need a hug? Give us a hug. Yo, that's like saying, like, the biggest health threat in America is people who complain about sugar and not diabetes. Not diabetes. The biggest health threat in America is people who complain about sugar, not the actual diabetes. Now, here's the through line from COINTELPRO to what we call today. You got to define the threat, not by who's doing the damage, but by who challenges the power. You got to over-police black, people of color, and left movements. Right? And then under police, right-wing networks with money, guns, and connections. Yo, there's a video that I cannot show you right now, but I promise I saw this video where it's it looks like the local KKK are with the police, and they're just chilling, hanging out, and having conversations buddy with police, law enforcement, while they're staging their protests. And these policemen are in their actual police uniforms. So that's true when I say under police, right-wing networks with money, guns, and connections. But back then, they feared black self-defense more than they did organized crime. Today, they fear left protests and keep it real, people of color, queer, trans, and they fear that solidarity more than any armed authoritarians, openly fantasizing about civil war. And that's who they fear. People with rainbow flags more than people who are armed and openly fantasizing about the start of a civil war, aka a race war. A race war. And then, when the data contradicts the story, they delete the report. That's how easy it is for them. So here's what I want to put in front of y'all. When a state overreacts to black and left-wing movements and underreacts to white supremacist networks, what is the government actually protecting? Is it protecting your safety? Is it protecting your democracy? Or is it just a hierarchy? Because if the Black Panthers feeding breakfast was a national security emergency, but armed white supremacists are always lone wolves, then the threat they're worried about might not be terrorism. I think the threat that they're worried about might just be justice. So I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from you. Who does the government fear more? People with guns or people with ideas? Let me know. When you hear the term domestic threat, where did that image come from? And if the data says one thing and the government says another, whose security is actually being secured? Hit me up in the chat. Hit up the phone lines. Let me know. Drum riff. Drum riffing. Oh my God, bro. Let me know. Is Antifa the boogeyman, or is the COINTELPRO with a fresh coat of paint? Because if they can't name the threat, if they delete the receipts and still expect applause, and the real question is, what is Antifa doing? That's the real question. The real question isn't what Antifa's doing. The real question is, what is the state trying to get away with while we're looking in the wrong direction? Let me know in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at the chat. Right, Netflix. As a veteran, how you feel about Venezuela? Oh, you want to know? Oh man, that's a great question. I feel like it is what we do. That is what we do. We want a resource, I'm just gonna go bare bones here. We want a resource. We want Venezuela for oil, right? And the thing is, we're sitting here and we're like, it's so wrong. We know it's wrong. We know that he's going over there, he's attacking. We know Venezuela hasn't really done anything to us or hasn't compromised our national security at all. But we do know that they have some of the biggest oil reserves this side of the planet right now, right? So if we take those oil, let me tell you something about America too, all right? Let's be honest. We take those oil reserves and you're somehow they trickle it down to the American people, and you're now paying $2 for gas, which is extremely high anyway still, and it's back to $2. You know what I mean? People will be happy with it. They're not going to care about Venezuela. Most of the people aren't going to care about Venezuela because they're broke, they're poor, and it's hard to care about other people when you're having to survive and worry about yourself. So unfortunately, I think the overall American population isn't going to give a flying fuck as long as we have good, results money-wise. But me, personally, and a lot of other people I know what it is. They have the power to go pick on a country and bully them for their milk money. We're trying to take Venezuela's milk money, and we don't even have a good excuse for doing it. Oh, he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Yes, he is. Susie Wiles is his chief of staff. I did a show about her before. She served with a lot of GOP politicians, if I'm correct. Then she moved down and did some Florida politics. She ends up becoming Trump's chief of staff. And she made a comment about Donald Trump. This I'm talking about. Nobody in Donald Trump's cabinet right now is unloyal to him. They've all been vetted for their loyalty. They've all been down and kissed that ring that's attached to them. Liver spotted, swollen, dilapidated hands of his. They've all kissed it, right? And she was the one smooching biggest. And she's actually saying that Trump acts like he's a drunk person. Even though Trump is a teetotaler, aka somebody that doesn't drink, she's saying he's out of control. You know? We think about the people that be in the room with the superstars, like people like in the room with Puff Daddy and couldn't tell him that this track that he wants to put out for the world to see was trash. Like, you got people in your entourage that are not going to give you the right information. Like, she's giving up the right information for him. They are being critical, which tells me that is a problem. Hoover named Antifa is Americans Against Fascists, and the FBI dudes say they are the greatest threat because they're calling out Trump. And Papa, I have to ask you, can you see some similarities of what I was talking about with Hoover actually denying the existence of organized crime and actually bumping up, you know, people like Martin Luther King as the greatest threat when it easily could have been the Genovese crime family. You know, Hoover is the Patel, sick 1L for Patel, 2025. Yo, as much as I want to rag on Herbert Hoover because he was trash, he was equipped for the job. He is basically like the first de facto director of FBI, and because of him, he did a lot of good things. He did a lot of controversial stuff, but as far as, you know, fighting crime and opening up offices, I was just me and Lovell was talking about this today. Like when they had the FBI came around the time with the Lindbergh baby. Charles Lindbergh was a famous pilot. He used to do transatlantic flights. I believe he was the first man to complete a transatlantic flight because he was flying from America over to Europe to see his other family because he had another family in Germany. But Charles Lindbergh was famous for a transatlantic flight. He had a baby over here in the United States, and that baby was kidnapped and held for ransom. It's the first case of any kind. J. Edgar Hoover was in charge of the FBI at that time, I believe, and he's the one who put together all those departments. So now, if they find like this piece of rope, they can track it back to the Home Depot or Walmart that you bought it. You know, this is the type of surveillance and oversight that he put in place to stop crime. Things that have ultimately destroyed, you know, any semblance of privacy, but arguably has, you know, helped to prevent and lower crime rates and keep people safe. So, you know, I don't think that we have people that we can claim and call back that were evil, but it seems like, damn, you know, he was evil and at the same time intelligent with it, which is a little bit more dangerous. But these guys are just evil and reckless, which I think is insanely dangerous because they don't give a flying F. They have no couth, and that's just what these people are about right now. So that's the craziness. But I got time for you guys right now. Give me a call. Call in 313-825-5557. Holla at your boy. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you're watching on your phone, go ahead and hit that thumbs up right now. I'm tired of getting like 40, 50 views and only having 6 people that hit like. Hit like, please. I'm asking humbly. AI is the next dangerous whatever to my iPhone. AI is going to be dangerous. Hoover and King. Hoover didn't fight crime. It was Kennedy. He hated him too. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, Robert F. Kennedy was the guy that ultimately made him, admit that there was an actual mafia. There's a movie out that I was watching. It's really good. It basically talks about the event that was the downfall of the mafia as we know it. Back in the day, there was a meeting. There was supposed to be a meeting with all of the families in Appalachian, New York. There is a movie called Alto Nights, starring Robert De Niro. He is playing, what is the guy's name? Frank Costello. And I forget, the last name is Genovese, but they both grew up together. And they kind of both became each other's ops, but they were like the fathers and leaders of their families. And it just talks about the meeting and how it kind of destroyed the mafia as we know it, to the point that they had to admit that they actually existed. And really, if they didn't run, if they would have stayed there and ate their meatballs, because they literally had meatballs, man, that spread looked good in that movie that they were eating. And I know, like, Scorsese likes to be really damn detailed with it. But if they would have just hung out, drank their wine, ate their food, politicked, and chilled out, nobody would have thought anything. They could have been like, yeah, we're having a party over here for our people. And that's it. Our family. They could have lit him like, this is our family. We're having a reunion right now. But they didn't. They were guilty. Guilty people run. And they kind of give themselves away. But check out Alto Nights if you guys haven't, because it really actually talks about, basically the opening rounds of the downfall of the mafia there. Listen. Let's take one more look. That's a black man right there. That's a black man right there, ladies and gentlemen. You know it. But you also know cash rules everything around me. I hope that's not too loud. Talking shit, getting clicks. Original podcast. I'm Mo 3 times. We live. That's what we're doing. It's Wednesday, and it's we Wednesdays. There is no we without you. As you know, I got the call lines. I'm out here fighting bears and everything. 313-825-5557. Don't F around. Bro. Just taking a break. We're gonna finish up. Oh, yo, while we're doing this, I will be live tomorrow night. That's what I'm doing. I got a goal, and it's I'm trying to go live for the next month. Every day for the next month, I will be going live. And that will take a little bit more pressure off Wednesdays. Because Wednesdays, oh man, I'm working Mondays and Tuesdays. But also I come home and I start doing research. A lot of times these topics, by the time we get to them, they've already been beat to death. And I don't like that. I like getting fresh food. So that's what I'm going to be trying to give you. So for the next 30 days, my goal is to hop on this live and chit chat with all of you. Every damn day. As even if it's for like a little 30 minutes. I'll be doing that. You should expect me to be on. Excuse me. Damn, that was a good one. You should expect me to be on around 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for you guys that don't like these late night sessions that we be having, right? Right. All right. Let's see what else I got here for you guys. On this beautiful Wednesday, on this beautiful we Wednesday, hanging out live with Mo 3 times. That is me. I is him is I. Yo, anybody in the chat? I'm talking to chat. If you guys are still there listening to me in the chat, yo, anything cross your mind? Any news events that came out that you're like, damn, yo, this is something I would like to discuss. Let me know. Show me in the chat because I really only have one more thing for you guys. One more real laced up topic that I want to talk about. I do have a lot of, I have those reaction videos, but I'm telling you right now, Instagram has just been spinning all day. And it's terrible. It's terrible. You know what? This is what I do want to talk about. This is something I do want to talk about. Check this out. Because it's not just this, but it's more. It's more. Check it out.
Struggling is because they're expensive and people don't have. The reason restaurants are struggling is because they're expensive and people don't have money. But there is a more specific thing happening. It's not that nobody has money. I mean, there are rich people. The problem is that rich people can only be in one place at a time. They only eat dinner once a night. I mean, if 10 people have $100,000, that's going to be 10 dinners. But if one person has $1 million, that's going to be one dinner. They might spend a little bit more, but it's going to be at one place. My point is that when money gets concentrated at the top, you end up with less customers. And a healthy economy doesn't just need money, it needs volume. The money has to circulate for the economy to grow. I mean, the stock market just hit an all-time high. But if you're watching this, you probably don't feel rich because 90% of stocks are owned by 10% of people. Meaning that when the market goes up, you don't end up with more people going to restaurants. You end up with less because all of that money is just sitting in stocks. It's not circulating. Think about Floyd Mayweather. He's always posting videos of him buying dumb stuff, clothes and watches. But I mean, compare Floyd Mayweather to Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
He's going to say, it's spinning right now, like I said. He's going to say Elon Musk don't buy shit. He's not good for an economy. He wears the same stupid-ass clothes. He drives the same whack-ass bicycle. He probably don't even got a Tesla. And that's what he does. He's not out there spending money. He's out there saving money because a lot of billionaires, if you guys didn't know this, but there are millionaires trying to be billionaires, and there are billionaires, and a lot of those billionaires are trying to be trillionaires. That is their goal. And you can't be trillionaire by spending. And actually, you know, it's really our money. They're taking our money. Yeah. It's like if you ask for just like, if you're humble with it, and you're just like, listen, I just need some money to cover the bills. I need milk for my kids, you know, diapers and, you know, cheese and stuff like that and bread. I just need that to take care of my kids. You are a worthless piece of shit as far as this government's concerned. You know what I mean? So if you're going to ask for money, you got to ask for millions of dollars, right? You get millions of dollars instead of a little $500-600 a month. If you get millions in a month, then that's not welfare. I think it's super welfare to me, but they don't consider that. And not in the bizarro land that we live in. Somebody that wants, you know, humble, just, hey, I just want to, you know, make sure my rent's paid. I don't have to stress about that and make sure that my baby's healthy and fed. The worst people. Those are the worst people. The best people are the people that were born into rich families, took advantage of the system, got tax cuts, and are being paid out of the wazoo from money that's coming from the hardworking taxpayers. You know what I mean? Think about it. Think about it. You gotta go big. You gotta think big. You gotta go big, or else you're gonna be called the worst. You're gonna be called the worst for it. Patel is a black man, but he don't know either. Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah, he was. Oh, man, what was I going to talk about today? Yo, I got a question. Only thing I had all day was just this one question that I really wanted to ask you guys. But before I ask this question, we need to reset where the power actually lives. So I got to preface to this question, so it's probably like more likely in the form of a monologue. But looking at my notes here, I would go ahead and say that, like, we have been told that power flows from the voters, right? And it flows from the voters down to the elected officials and through elections and democracy. But you and I know that a lot that in modern day America, a lot of the authority doesn't actually come from the ballot box. It comes from capital. It comes from a balance sheet. It comes from super PACs, and it comes from corporate influence, PACs being political action committees. So I would have to take you guys back to the delicate year of 2010. The Supreme Court ruled in a case called Citizens United versus the FEC. And basically they said that corporate political spending counts as protected speech. Corporate political spending counts as protected speech. So a corporation was giving constitutional rights, thus making corporations citizens, people, if you will. Now, that decision didn't just let corporations join political debate. It allowed them to dominate it, okay? Now, from that point forward, unlimited money flowed into campaigns. I'm talking about it went to political advertising, it went into shaping public opinion, influence became something you purchased, not something that you actually had to go out, shake hands, kiss babies, make speeches, and earn. Now, move all of that from elections and put that money into lawmaking, right? So now we got entire industries that maintain permanent lobbying offices in Washington, D.C. And then they got lobbyists who don't sit on the sideline that are waiting to react. They actually help write legislation. Because you, as an average American citizen, you as a normal, you out there, you can write a law. You can introduce it as a bill. You can write a law. You can take it to your state house, senate. You can get some people to say, hey, this is the idea, and get it fine-tuned and voted on, right? But corporations are allowed to do that because corporations technically, after this Citizens United case came back, were treated as citizens. So that's right, they do. They help to write regulations, financial regulations, right? Cha-ching. Environmental rules. You know, there's a lot of those the AI data centers that are going up and effing up the local environment where they're placed at, and there's actually going on in Vineland, New Jersey, my old hometown of Vineland, New Jersey, where they're putting in these warehouses and these AI big ass warehouses, and they aren't even doing the environmental checkup and paperwork at it. Because when you build on some land, you got to make sure that you're not displacing animals or endangered species, that you're not messing up the water or the air. And that is something that they were able to forego in my old hometown, because guess what? We're in a time where there are no rules or regulations anymore. So that's right. These lobbyists once again help to write legislation. That legislation includes financial regulations. That includes environmental rules. It includes labor standards. It includes healthcare pricing. Many of those negotiations start long before the public even hears word of it. And then we have the revolving door. Some of you guys know this, and I'm going to remind you, and some of you don't know this, but let me tell you something. When you hear somebody talking about the revolving door, the government revolving door politics, this is what's happening. You have government regulators that have worked in the government and know all these regulations, and when they leave that office to go work in the same position but over in the executive world, right? So they go down to the executive and take an executive job at the same companies that they once had to oversee. Now, those corporate executives then leave that industry and walk right back into those regulatory offices that supervise their former colleagues. That's the revolving door. They're going from government back to private, from government back to private. So they're going from private saying, hey, man, this would be easier if I had this law or regulation to go. This would be easier if I had this law or regulation to go. Let me go back into the government, and we're going to change this regulation and law. We're going to change these laws. We're going to change these policies. We're going to change these regulations. And guess what? I'm going to take those wins that I got in the government and go back and make money at my private corporation or company. That's right. Corporate executives, once again, leaving the industry and walking straight into the regulatory offices that supervise their former effing colleagues. Let me get an E. Right? And it's not even a scandal. There's no smoke-filled rooms. There's just a structural incentive to regulate softly today and cash in tomorrow. Now, if we shift that to the citizens, I'm looking at myself. We shift that to the citizens. What we got? Access to food, housing, healthcare, transportation, communication. All of that is mediated by corporate systems. And if you opt out of any one of those, that could be seen as rebellion, but it also could be a hindrance to your ability to survive. And here's a quiet truth. Most protests that we see, they're tolerated. And they're tolerated because they don't usually interrupt profit. Marches end and hashtags trend, and then they disappear, and then the outrage cools, and all in between that, before, during, and after, the spending continues. So if corporations respond only to revenue, and we continue to fund that revenue daily, we, the consumer, and we continue to fund them daily, then resistance becomes performance, and then when you complain, you become compatible with the consumptions. So your complaints are compatible with your consumptions. And I gotta ask, stop it, background. I have to ask. We're consumers. I remember, like back in the day, you would be a friend or a family, a neighbor walking into a store. These are our neighbors walking to the stores, and then these were our patrons walking to the stores. They're, showing patronage to our shops and stores. And from there, it became a little looser and became customer, and that customer was always right, even if they were dead ass wrong. You had customers, valued customers. But now we are simply labeled as consumers. And only thing I know that consumers do are consume and defecate. And that's what they think of you. You're not a patron. You're not a friend of the store, a neighbor, a loved one, someone that's cherished to their business. You are simply a consumer. And that power no longer needs force. And they don't need that force because it's a habit. It doesn't need any coercion. Because convenience does the work for us. So ultimately, I want to talk about activism. But when we talk about activism, before we talk about rebellion, we have to talk about whether participation is actually a form of consenting to all of this bullshit. I'm somebody that participates in this world that I criticize. So I'm not letting myself off the hook. Don't let yourself off the hook. Think about it. And here's the question. If power in our society today is exercised primarily through these corporations, then I would have to ask, is economic non-participation, aka the boycott, is that the most legitimate form of political protest that we have? Or are we just rebelling with words and still paying it off with our wallets? And that's the conversation that I want to have. That's the conversation I want you to have with your friends, with your family, with your loved ones, with people that you like talking to. Have that conversation with them. Have it. Have that conversation. So, once again, my question is to you and you and you. If power in modern day society is exercised primarily through corporations, is economic non-participation, is boycotting the most legitimate form of political protest that we have today? Because we got a lot of going on in our country, and there's a lot of protests. But is it going to be the boycott? I can't find it right now, but there was a woman on Instagram. She had a clip, and she was basically saying that, listen, the people of the United States of America, all the workers, what we need to do is not work. We need to walk off your jobs, stop paying your mortgage, your car note, all that stuff, right? They can't take your house because the guys that work to take houses are in a protest with us, so they're at home too. And the guys that repossess cars, they're at home too. They're with the protests, so nobody's going to lose their house or their car. And everybody does not go to work, and we basically shut society down and make these billionaires have to come to a bargaining table. There's no reason why in 2025 we should be debating whether children deserve health care or school lunches. And that is where we are right now. We are in the richest world that we have ever known. And we have people dying of curable diseases. And most of that curable disease is hunger. So that's my question. But I go back to the lady was on Instagram. She was basically saying nobody should go to work. You guys should all pull up in Washington, D.C. and just take the city over. And it sounds good. It sounds really rebellious. But I remember, like I said, I remember going to the inauguration in 2008. And I was out there I would say we got out there early, probably like 5 o'clock in the morning. And I was there till 7 o'clock at night. And I only used the restroom once. And it's because I absolutely positively had to use the restroom. And there was no really facilities to go. So although that sounds like a great idea, and I appreciate that idea, and I appreciate anybody who's trying to think out the box to bring some type of righteousness to this current situation that we all find ourselves into. But that would be a logistical nightmare. And that's cool for a lot of people because sacrifices are going to have to be made for this change. And we're all going to have to sit down and have a long think about all the things that we're going to have to sacrifice to be better. And that's what I've been doing this week. Going through those finances, finding out where those little air leaks are and closing those air leaks and saving that money to buy extra rounds and canned goods. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. Let me get a drum riff. We're still here, talking shit, getting clicks, original podcast. It's Wednesday, we Wednesday. Yeah, we got our show going tonight. We live, power, fear, and we had those receipts. Y'all already know. You're with Mo 3 times. It's 8:43. Awesome. Happy birthday. Congratulations to anybody out there celebrating birthdays, milestones, raises, promotions, anything good. And if you're going through some shit, this song's for you too also, especially for you. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. All right. I'm going to wrap it up a little early tonight because, like I said, I will be seeing you guys for the next 30 days. Every effing day. Come hang out with me. Come hang out with me. We live. Come kick it with 3 times. You must come kick it with 3 times. Right? We'll get Love back in here once she gets arrested and undetested. And then we'll have some more fun. Yes, it is true. It is true. We will have lies. That's right. I think this government's a scam too. But that's right. We Wednesdays, talking shit, getting clicks. Thanks everybody that came out to see me, get back in here, check me out, hang out with me tomorrow. We're going to be on 5 p.m. The next day, 5 p.m. Every day except for Wednesdays, which you'll see me here at 7:30, where we'll put it all together and we'll talk and debrief and figure out what's the next moves here. Everybody have a great week. Be safe for these holidays. If you're out there shopping, put it in the trunk and lock your trunk. Be safe out there. Or just don't go out there and be part of this little movement and let these people know that we're not taking this shit no more. All right. I'm 3 times. Everybody, thanks for coming out. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend. Share this episode. Hit like, hit share, hit subscribe. We're trying to get some places this year. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you when I see you next time. I'm 3 times. First name Mo. This is my show. We episodes, and there is no we without you. And you can always check me out on the YouTube channels, talking shit, getting clicks. Yeah. Shout outs to the Jump Out Gang.
The Jump Out boys in their city.
Ain't nothing.